what's up, everybody? I'm downtown. I gotta head all the way up to 147th Street in Harlem from downtown here. It's a hike where I gotta go. I'm not taking FDR though. The GPS wants me to take the FDR. No way. I'm taking that. No way. That would be probably one of the worst ways you could ever go. KLR is really good. Just with these double takes on. I did a video on it. I didn't do the installation because it's nothing. I mean, basically, you just pop it on. Just take this all the way up. This turns into 3rd Avenue, which would be more than fine going all the way up to Harlem. Because you don't really want to take the FDR now at 4 o'clock. It's just going to be a hassle. And I mean, you can split on there, but you used to not be able to split on there when the mayor was Bloomberg. He didn't like it, and I think one time his detail was on there, and they flipped out. They started pulling people over. But that was a long time ago. He hasn't been mayor for a long time, and all his changes are gone. But you know, basically now you can split on the FDR without a problem. But it's a tight highway. There's no shoulder. There's nothing. I mean, you're not supposed to drive on the shoulder anyway. When you split, you go between the cars, just like in California. Taking the shoulder is not okay. A lot of bikers confuse that because they think, okay, shoulder's open, why not just use it? But the problem is, people pull over for emergencies and stuff, and emergency vehicles use it, and it's just better not to take it, because even myself, one time I was in Santa Monica, and it was on the 405, and it was just totally jamming by Santa Monica, and I just scooted on the shoulder just a little bit, and there was a motorcycle cop ready. Gave me a ticket right away. Gave me a ticket right away. I mean, it was amazing how I just like scooted a little bit. Here they don't mess with bikes too much, but you got to remember the shoulder thing is definitely not okay. But some cops don't even know the law. Like they're totally confused. They're like, some New York cops are confused. They're thinking it's okay to take the shoulder, but don't lane split, which doesn't make any sense at all. Generally, you want a lane split, but don't use shoulder. And that's what I found. Most places are not okay with the shoulder being used, which makes sense, you know, like on highways and byways and freeways, they don't like people using the shoulder. But anyway, getting back to my point, the FDR is a very tight highway. There's actually no space at all. If you break down on there, it's really rough because there's no shoulder whatsoever. Like the FDR has actually one of the tightest highways I know. West Side Highway has a little bit more space on it. This is what you got to watch for. It's your fault if you take the bus lane and then you ram somebody. You know, it's totally your fault. Because if they're turning, you know, you're putting yourself in a bind. And they do, like, people don't know that they can pop into the bus lane to turn. And actually, I wonder maybe if they've gotten tickets sometimes from doing that. Pulling into the bus lane a little bit before the intersection and then turning. That's supposedly okay, but who knows? Some people just don't go anywhere near the bus lane because they don't want the ticket. I don't blame them. So if you're cruising in the bus lane, it's okay to cruise in the bus lane on a bicycle and a motorcycle, but with the express consent that you cannot fly past cars trying to turn right. Can't obstruct any buses at all. You know, these bus drivers will honk the shit out of you if you block one of them, because you're in the bus lane. It's just like a privilege kind of to cruise in the bus lane. Nobody will bother you. There's no law that says you can take the bus lane because it says bus only. Like, I get all kind of comments on the YouTube like, dude, you're stupid. The bus lane, it says bus only. You know, which I guess they're just following, you know, what they read. Makes sense, but it's not really like that. The bus lane is some things are okay. Like, you're allowed to scoot in the bus lane, but not officially. So no cops will give you a ticket or anything. No cop will even say anything to you. But you definitely can't continue to do it all the time. Because it's totally not, you know, I mean, I'm saying that, I can't say you can't do it all the time. I mean, you can't do it when a bus is trying to avoid, take a bus, if a bus is trying to move and you obstruct him, you can't do that all the time. Like, that bus totally blew the light so he could jump in front there. That's why I scooted up. I don't know what he was doing. I guess he was getting annoyed. That's another weird thing in Manhattan. The buses don't turn on their red lights stop, because it would just be too much traffic, so they just put a yellow indicator and pull over to the right. A lot of people get confused with that. For out-of-towners, they get confused. They stop for the bus thinking that they're violating the kids, because like in some states, like going past the bus is like a super duper like wicked offense, even if you do it by mistake and you don't even come near any kids. It's like one of those things where they just freak the fuck out on you. Like, I know in Jersey it's like a major fucking offense. Like, basically you're suspended from the moment of that ticket. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, police officers don't have any discretion, they say, and you know, it's kind of stupid. But because basically I think those laws were meant for somebody who deliberately blows past a bus with children getting in and out. That's what that law was meant for. It wasn't really meant for somebody who accidentally went a little bit past the bus and then slowed down to make sure no kids. Because that's, I had a friend in Jersey who got that ticket and got 6 points, suspended license, all this shit. And all he did was the bus driver turned on the yellow indicator and then switched to red as he was going around the front of the bus. There were no children crossing. He even stopped to take a look and then went. And cop pulled him over and said, "You went past the school bus?" He said, "Yeah, the light was just coming on." You know, he said, "No, you got to stop. You're getting a ticket." You know, and it was like a whole thing, and he got totally rammed from it. You know, because basically, cops in Jersey pretty much, I don't know how it has been since the pandemic, but before there was no discussing anything. Like, basically, if you're the chosen one, you're getting reamed. Like, that's it. Whereas in New York, if you see like something, you know, the first thing you got to do in New York is, if you see some kind of enforcement thing, you got to bug out, man. Don't be dealing with that shit. Because once you pull over, the cops are going to tell you, "Hey, listen, man, I'm sorry, this is an enforcement thing," you know. And that's what they're there for, to give tickets. So, but rarely our NYPD don't really give too much moving violations. But if it is one of those enforcement things, they are. But basically, NYPD is pretty respectful. I mean, if you totally fuck up, they're going to give you a ticket, you know. But for the most part, if they see something that their judgment tells them, "Hey, this person is legit," they just had like they just went past the bus a little bit or whatever, you know, something like that, which they don't even deal with. That's not something they deal with. NYPD, from my experience, has been pretty fair. But when they're in an enforcement situation, there's no talking about anything. But I found like in Jersey, it's all bullshit. They're just trying to lecture you, tell you why you're unsafe. I'm doing you a favor. I'm not giving you reckless driving. But it's always points. It's always some bullshit. Never simple. And sometimes amounts to a big mess. This is Jersey, you know. We'll just throw you into a fucking mess. That's why I don't really work in Jersey too much, but it wouldn't be bad to like live by Fort Lee and just come over the bridge every day. But you would have to deal with those Port Authority cops, which, you know, but if you can go to the lower level, it's not bad. Just zip over the lower level every day and come back over, that's fine. The upper level, man, that's another ball game. That's an enforcement area with cops just standing there looking for bullshit stuff. Seems to have lightened up though since the pandemic happened. New York is full of speed cameras though. That's one thing. The place is totally full. This would be something you could totally lose your shit on. Right there. Damn. I mean, I got good tires on this bike though. But if you had like street tires on a motorcycle, like a street bike, and you hit that stuff, man, you're going down, dude. Even if you don't even touch your brakes, if you hit that shit, you're going down. Now, with the knobby tires I'm riding, you're pretty good, but if you were to brake on that without tire studs, that would be a problem. Yeah, you see that van, how he came over? He was not trying to cut me off. He realized he heard the bike and then he pulled back in. That's why I like the Lex exhaust, because the Lex exhaust has enough of a grunt to it to let people know when you're there. They can hear you. That's one good thing.